Hello, and welcome to the training for debate at Junior Youth Assembly. I will walk you through the procedure so that you know how to get involved in the discussion throughout the event. The legislative program debates bills, which are proposed laws. Bills are debated in committees and legislative chambers one at a time. At the beginning of each bill's debate, an official will read the bill, and the bill author will have a chance to speak from the well. The well is what we call the podium at the front, and for a virtual conference, this will not be a physical well. However, staff will keep track of who has the right to speak during debate. This opening address is the time for the author to explain why they wrote the bill and why they think it should pass. Once the author is done or their time has expired, the chair will say the floor is now open for debate. Here is where the formalities come into play. All debate must go through the chair, who is the person at the front of the room with a gavel. In the Senate, it is the President of the Senate, the House has the Speaker of the House, and committees have chairmen. Once the floor is open for debate, you have to get the chair's attention. In virtual Junior Youth Assembly, you do this by using the hand raise feature in Zoom. To recognize you, the chair will say, "The chair recognizes Fulton 1, or whatever your identification says. Once you get recognized by the chair, you have options depending on what you want to do. The most common action is to ask a question to the delegate in the well. So, after you get recognized, you would ask, "Will the delegate yield to a question?" The chair will then ask the delegate, "Will the delegate yield?" And the delegate will respond, "Yes" or "No." If they said yes, you can then ask your question directly to the delegate. The person in the well can choose to say no and not answer a question if they want. So, you have to get recognized, ask permission to ask a question, and then ask your question. It is important to note that this only allows you to ask one question. If you want to ask more, you need to get recognized and say, "Will the delegate yield to a series of questions?" Then you can ask up to 3. This may seem confusing, but you will catch on in no time. Another thing you can do during debate is state a point. There are 3 kinds of points. Most common is a point of information, which is a fact you want to say about the debate. Another kind of point is a point of parliamentary inquiry, which is when you think some parliamentary procedure has been done incorrectly. Lastly, there are points of personal privilege, which pertain to personal things, like the temperature being too hot or requesting a break from session. Most of the time, you only use points of information, but all 3 are available. In order to rise to a point, you must get recognized and say, "I wish to rise to a point of information," or whatever point you wish to state. The chair will then say, "State your point." Now you can say what you wanted to, but it is important that all points be phrased as a question. So, a point of information could sound like, "Is it not true that the 2010 census found that Atlanta is the most populous city in Georgia?" You can see that it is a statement that was reworded as a question. After you state your point, the chair will make a ruling and continue with debate. This procedure is the same for any type of point. Next, you can ask the delegate to leave the well. In order to do this, get recognized and say, "Will the delegate yield the well?" The delegate holding the well can either say yes or no. In fact, you normally do not want to yield the well if you think the person will speak unfavorably or if you have more to say. There are certain times that the chair will force you to yield the well, mainly if the floor leader asks, or if multiple consecutive delegates ask. This is in order to encourage debate or keep to our schedule. A note: even though there will be no physical well, we will still follow this procedure in order to change possession of the virtual well. Once you get the well emptied, you can choose to speak on the bill. In order to do so, get recognized and then state, "I wish to speak upon this bill." Once the chair gives you permission, you can take the well and address the crowd. From here, debate continues and you can be asked questions. Another thing you can do, only once the well is empty, is move the previous question. This basically means that you think the debate is done, so you would like to go ahead and vote on this bill. Once the well is empty, you get recognized and then say, I wish to move the previous question. This is our first chance for objections and a vote. Once someone has called to move the previous question, the chair will ask, are there objections? If you want to keep debating, raise your hand using the option in Zoom. Otherwise, there are no objections, debate is over, and you start voting on amendments. If there is even a single objection, the chair will then ask the first delegate, the one who asked to move the previous question, does the delegate move? This is basically the chair asking, are you sure? If the first delegate does not move or is not paying attention, the motion will fail and debate will continue. If the delegate does move by raising his hand, the chair will call for a vote. All votes in a virtual conference will be a count of hands. In a vote, the chair will first say, all those in favor of the passage of this bill will rise and stand until counted. You do not literally have to stand, it just means to raise your hand so that the camera can see it while a count is taken. After the favorable votes are counted, the chair will say, reverse your positions. Now, the unfavorable voters will raise their hand. If you want to keep debating, vote unfavorably. After the vote, the chair will decide which side had more delegates and pass a verdict, which will sound like, the ayes have it, therefore this motion carries. If the motion fails, debate will continue. If the motion passes, debate will be over and the bill author will have a period to sum up before final voting begins. For moving the previous question and amendments, a motion passes with a simple majority. This is more than 1/2 of all the people voting. Once a call to move the previous question passes, no matter how it passes, the bill author has a time to give a summary of their arguments. Then, you begin voting on amendments. Amendments are changes made to a bill. Anyone can file an amendment during debate on a bill. First, the amendment is read. Then, a vote is had to decide if the amendment will be passed. This is exactly the same as the previous vote. It starts with a chance for objections, then asks if the delegate moves. If there are no objections, the amendment is automatically adopted. If the delegate does not move after an objection, the amendment is automatically lost. After an objection and a movement, a vote is held, just like before, and a verdict is declared. Once an amendment has been voted on, the process continues for the next amendment until there are no more left. A note, if two amendments change the same section, the last one to pass overwrites the first one. Once amendments are done, the final question is, shall this bill pass? For the final passage of a bill, the chair will order a counted vote. The final vote requires a requisite constitutional majority. This means that the bill needs to have more than half of all the members in the chamber vote in favor. So, for the final vote, if you do not vote, it basically counts as an unfavorable vote. Afterwards, the chair will read the number of votes and declare the bill has passed or failed. Now, you have debated your first bill. You are all ready to jump into debate at a Junior Youth Assembly conference. Do not be afraid to get involved in debate early on, especially in committee. The best way to learn is by doing.